Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to the Sisters. And do we have comments yet?
Not
Oh,
yet.
look, Maria's here and Val's here. And all the notifications just went out. So
Yes.
look, Sonia's here.
Yep.
And yay, we got some people here. And Sharon's here. Wow.
Yes, I'm here. 2 spots. I'm trying that interdimensional thing.
Sonia Maggie. Hello, Sonia.
Hi, Sonia. And give it a few minutes. I'm sure there'll be some people that, yeah, Rossi's here. Hi, Rossi.
Rossi.
Since the notifications just went out, my phone just dinged with one. And because I go in and I click notify on everybody's channel so I can make sure.
I haven't seen
Thanks,
mine yet.
Rods.
Hey, everybody. What about the cocaine at the White House? What do you think about that?
What?
They found cocaine in the White House.
They found
read on
somebody's stash pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bag was on the floor where they came in, I think. Yeah.
Well, it was in the library in the West Wing.
Yeah.
Let's pull a card on it. Let's just pull one card on that. While people are
Sure
coming
that
in.
it wasn't Colonel
people are
Mustard
coming in?
Colonel Mustard in the library with a lead
Might
pipe.
have been, planted.
Yeah.
Okay, what's with the packet of cocaine?
Okay. You know what?
Can you tell me?
Yeah. I'm going to go visions in the liminal space. Let's see.
It's a plant. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking
yeah.
it was a plant too. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi,
Probably
Lauren.
left
Hi,
over from
Carol.
Don Jr.
Hi,
They think
Stella.
Yeah, that
Hi,
too.
Carol. Hi, Fleck. Bunches of folks jumping in.
Yeah. Cell rods. You've been the topic of conversation.
Smoke.
where there's smoke, there's fire. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep.
Eyes of the eagle rising above the fray.
Uh-huh.
Reason to live.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that was Junior. Yeah.
that's Junior, all right.
He's probably being right
Absolutely.
now. He's probably going like, "That's where I left that damn thing at."
Yeah.
Hi, Libra lady.
The surprising thing is you can only imagine how expensive that is. It's not some cheap thing they left
That's why
behind.
you know it's a plant, because who's going to leave a bag
Yeah.
with that kind of stuff just
Hi,
laying out?
Amanda. Hi, warrior girl.
I get it. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Yes, Cell rods.
when I saw that on the news this morning, I was like, what? It was like my brain would not compute what I was hearing.
It's the
Swamp. Yep.
See, we got, they keep saying that we need to, they wanted to drain the swamp, but that's what we're doing. We're
Yeah.
doing the draining. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly so.
Yeah.
Because everything he says is really reflected back about his own administration.
Absolutely.
So there it is.
I think it's a plant. They wanted to badmouth the White House.
Oh, yeah. They wanted to blame it on Hunter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, badmouth
Oh, I'm
Hunter.
sure they seem to be wanting to blame everything on Hunter, but in the meantime, they look the other way when it comes to the Precious and
Right,
the
Libra
Barbie
lady.
Ken, the
Yeah.
Precious and the Ken doll. So, hi, Carol.
Next thing they'll be talking about was Hunter Biden was involved in Jimmy Hoffa's disappearance.
That's it.
Oh,
How did you know?
Yes.
Good one.
Oh, sorry. Should I have kept that secret?
And
Yeah.
he knows where Elvis is.
I
I
just
saw-
had that thought. You took it out of my brain.
I saw somebody interviewing some Trump people, and this was a couple of years ago. And they were saying something or other about the person they were interviewing was saying something about, well, if Obama had done like what he was elected to do, then we wouldn't have had 9/11 happen. And the guy was just kind of stood there for a minute. You could see his brain literally like glitch in his head. He was like,
Right.
how is Obama responsible for what happened in 2011? Well, he was
Or
president.
2001.
and
2001.
actually,
2001.
George W.
not
Bush was
2011.
president during 9/11.
Right.
Barack Obama wasn't even a senator yet.
I mean, he wore a tan suit and they crucified him.
Yes.
yeah, after all the other presidents have worn one. And
Oh,
it
I
was-
don't know about that, but it's just that if that's all you can find about Obama, oh,
I know.
That's
He's
reaching.
pretty squeaky clean.
pretty
Yeah.
squeaky clean.
Nice
Frosty,
and smooth. Oh, I think they hated him
Looks great
because
in
his
that color,
wife
by the
actually
way.
loved him, and he loved his wife, and his kids were clean,
Decent human beings.
decent human people,
Decent human
and
beings. That's right.
you know.
All right.
So I'm wearing a sundress today. It's like 33 degrees out. Oh, that's Canadian. What is that? That's about 100 degrees, I think.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Hottest 2 days in the world history
Yes,
of
in the world.
recording.
That's right.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
I had there.
Okay, so we're all here. Our topic tonight was that I posed to the ladies was how do we deal with our spiritual journey when life just seems to run over us like a steamroller and wring us out dry? You know, what are our go-to reactions? You know, how do you mentor or provide comfort to someone else when you've got your whole life going down the crapper, you know, and literally can't think, what am I going to do? And so because of the last couple of weeks with me in my life, wow, did that happen? So, you know, it's like as I was trying to think of what to talk about, it was, it just kind of hit me. Well, Sherry, you've been doing this for 2 weeks now, ever since you got the car accident, you know. So, and yeah, it's I know myself personally, like some of us were talking backstage, you kind of pull back a little bit, because you don't want to misread or lead someone down the wrong way because you're so upset and screwed up that you can't think straight. Well, you know, and I mean, for myself personally, it was literally pulling back a little bit and but still honoring the commitments that I had already made, and just kind of going deep, you know, like, okay, what do I, you know, what is it you want me to learn from this, and what do I need to do next? And so that's kind of where I've been for the last couple of weeks. And so hi, Perrette. So Marina, you're next up. What is your go-to for how do you handle that kind of thing?
You know, when it comes to just myself, I like to just sit back and kind of tune into what it is that I'm feeling, and see where I can go with that. Very often, what happens is some of those moments have been the best learning moments for me. So, you know, yeah, I can sit back, I can internalize it, and just kind of figure out what is the appropriate next step, or so on. And when it comes to, you know, trying to help someone else when I'm not fully present, I will tell them, you know, I'm sorry, I am not fully present right now. I totally get what you're going through, and yes, I will be there to help you. Just give me a day or two. Just give me a little bit of time so that I can get back to where I'm from. And so far, knock on wood, that seems to have worked. So
Very good. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Earth Spirit. Hi, Mary. We had some more people jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome, everyone.
And Val, what do you do? What is your go-to for self-healing?
Similar to Marina, but I find that when I am really out of sorts, or not necessarily that something happened like a shoe dropped or some big bomb in my life, but in the last couple of years, like when I wake up and I'm just not, I can feel something bubbling up to be released, even though I can't put my finger on it. Then I sit down in meditation by myself and I open up and allow. I ask my guides and angels to be with me, and I open up and allow myself to release whatever it is that I'm feeling, whatever anxiety, blocks, whatever this is, even without naming it, to let it go into the violet flame. And then when I pull in divine source energy into my energy field, somehow the peace and calm and the breathing I do in my heart, the light that comes into my heart, somehow lets it all go. And even within that day, even within an hour, even within that one meditation, I can be ready again to do an Akashic record reading or someone else. It's rare if I'm not back to balance just from being in that state of oneness with divine source. I know it sounds like la la land, but it's real.
Yeah.
It really works. So I'm not saying that that would happen if I had a complete tragedy in my life, but I can talk about the last few years of my life. Because I know big things can happen and throw you so off that it's like, yeah, but can only speak to what's happened recently. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, Allie,
Yeah.
you're next.
Okay. So I was saying to the girls, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I like to look for the lesson that is inherent in what's going on, and then I have to rationalize. I do set boundaries and say I have to cancel my show because I'm not feeling. I do that because I think we have to show other people that that's okay as well, because we all need a break. Um, and that what really changed my life was going back on the spiritual path and realizing that we have no control over some things at all. And so when my roof had a problem, I kind of gave it over, and I got a lot of help from a lot of people. It really changed my life. I could say that almost everything that has happened to me. Because in the past, I would have been like Chicken Little, running around saying that the sky was falling, and it doesn't really get me anywhere. So even my husband said, "Oh my God, why didn't you go crazy like you always do?" And I said, "I don't know. I guess I'm okay." I do think it's important to vent. If you can find somebody, and not like yell at them or anything, but just like, "Oh my God, I'm having a bad day, and I just need someone to listen." And I always tend to feel better after I do that. So there are places that I can go and people that I can talk to that help me with that. But we're all in need of it. We're all we need to know that it's okay. We are spiritual people, but we're living in a physical world, and we're going to come up with physical things in our lives. And it's hard sometimes just to be spiritual when you're dealing with that. So
Yeah.
thanks for the question. It's a good question, Sherry.
You're welcome. Okay, Allison, it's your turn.
Hi. It kind of depends on what the situation is, honestly, and who the person is. I mean, I can rally for my sister no matter what's going on. You know what I mean? It kind of depends on who it is. And not that, not everybody's important, but I really do think that that's part of it. It's who you're most connected to. And obviously my child. I mean, the world stops. If he's got a problem, it's my problem. So, and I can show up for him anytime, regardless of what's going on. But as far as like helping other people, it's kind of like the whole saying, yeah, if your cup is empty, kind of thing. Thank God everything's been fairly tame and wonderful for like almost the last year. I'm so thankful because I went through like a 10-year stretch that was just hellacious. And you just kind of go within. You take care of you. You don't really worry about what's going on with other people. You're on your own spiritual hold it togetherness. That's what I did anyhow. And I don't feel bad about it one bit. I needed that to even be here right now, to be perfectly honest. But no, I'm very compassionate and empathetic. If somebody needs me, not that I have all the answers, but I'll always sit and listen. Things would have to be really upside down and nuts for me not to be there to do that. So I don't know if that answers the question, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
no, it just according to what everybody, we all kind of deal with things kind of the same way, but we all do it differently too. Sharon, what about you? What do you do when your life is in the crapper and how do you
Well,
piece
if
it
it's
together?
just minor things, for example, I'm in this new relationship, and what I set as a boundary right away is, I'm a Pisces. I'm actually an introvert, believe it or not. And for me to recharge, I need to be by myself. So I said, I need to have periods of time by myself. Don't feel it's anything about you. It's about me spending time with me. So if I'm in a funk, I'll go sit out on my porch and watch the dragonflies or, just totally tune into nature. I mean, I meditate and that sort of thing as well. Excuse me. But yeah, I just have to be quiet, meditate, or be in nature, which is a type of meditation to me. Yesterday, I tried my stand-up board, those paddle boards. I went with my love, and we went to this nearby lake, and I can't stand on it yet, but I'll graduate to that. But I was sitting on it and paddling, and it was just so calm and so nice. And, that being in nature is just so uplifting for me. When I was in the worst period of my life, and that was after my stepson died, um, it was, I mean, you can't imagine how bad it was. It was so bad. But it took me about 9 years. But what I did was I went to a counselor. I had massage therapy, and it was this deep tissue massage. And it's actually, while I was having a massage, my son would come to me and he would talk to me. Yeah, and because during that quiet moments when I wasn't teaching or wasn't whatever, just being there and being quiet, he was able to come to me. Acupuncture, chiropractor, and of course I could do that because I had good benefits with my teaching job. But self-care is so important. But if it's just for minor things where the world's going too fast for me or that kind of stuff, then I'm just quiet, just spend time by myself, even if it's reading something, just taking that time. And especially moms, if you can just grab that time whenever you can, it's so important. I know it's hard, but it's so important.
Yeah, and that can be said when you care for other people.
Yeah,
if you're taking care of a spouse, or if you're taking care of your parents, or if you have a sick child, whether if it's a physical ailment or a mental ailment or a combination of both, it can be that can be very draining, and that's where self-care is so important. It was a very hard lesson I had to learn with my mom. Was I would push myself to the point of near collapse because I would feel guilty if I took enough time out to go get a pedicure or something,
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I had a few people really sit me down and say, look, you're not doing her any good when you're so tired you can't see straight. You need to go do something for you. And it took a while. I mean, and it's still hard when things kind of come out of left field and hit you. Um, but yeah, I mean, everything that I think we all kind of basically do some of the same stuff. Um, but it's all a matter of replugging in and getting our charge back up so that we can then turn around and help others. And as empaths, that's, I think just about all of us here and in the chat
Exactly.
are empaths of some sort. We pick up on other people's energy and on
When
their
I was
hurts, on
teaching
their,
full time and bringing up the kids, and my husband's working as well, I would stand there and cook, and my kids knew that it was the pit hour, and what that was I am a finely tuned race car, and I've gone into the pit to have my tires changed, my oil changed, my maybe the whole engine changed, whatever. But you just for 20 minutes, just leave me alone. Don't call me mom. Don't call me Mrs. Lee. You're coming back from a teaching day. Just let me have 20 minutes in my own head. And they always respected that. And I remember my daughter once rented a room with someone, in someone's house, and this woman who was a teaching assistant said, "Just want you to know that when I come home from work, I'm really quiet. I may go walk to the beach and that kind of stuff. So don't take it personally if I'm not talking to you." And my daughter said, "Oh yeah, I know, the pit hour." It was 20 minutes.
exactly.
Hey, you guys, somebody have a phone or radio or something else on, because I'm getting
Yeah,
Getting feedback.
feedback.
I could hear
Yeah.
just
I'm not
for-
hearing anything.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else on. Just
I don't, and I'm muted.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
And
don't hear
Pierrette,
mine.
I see you got kicked out of my chat for some reason, and I don't know why that would happen to you, Pierrette. So I'm sorry, dear.
Yeah.
A lot of times, and I've done it to people. I did it to Sharon Sipe once. You go to click on somebody, that's being misbehaving, and the chat will jump, and you wind up clicking the wrong person, and you time them out or something.
Ah.
I actually did it to Sharon Sipe when I first became a moderator. I felt so horrible. I probably apologized to her every time I saw her in a chat for like the next month because I felt so guilty. And everybody kept telling me it happens. Don't worry about it.
It does happen because
We've all timed out the wrong person,
Yeah.
But so all right. Well, we got through that fairly quickly, and we do have some questions that were put in our community pages. Just a reminder, we do not take questions from the chat on the night of the show. We will post our little reminder up on Saturdays, and that's where you can go in on our community pages and you find that post, and you can go in under there and put your question in, and then that way
Yeah, I'm still not getting any
we
questions.
know how many questions we're going to be dealing with, because we've all got other things we got to go do. So, there are other schedules, families to feed, and on and on. So, I wanted to start out with Sal Rods.
Yeah.
The first part of her question, okay. She uses a trail camera on her properties, and then last night she captured something strange. This is the second part of the question. That we're getting ready to show you the video. She actually sent Val a clip. You can see the coyote just come into frame. When you're looking at the screen, it'll be on the left side, and then you see it back up, and you could just kind of see it hanging just out of camera range. Every now and again, you'll catch a glimpse of his eyes or his nose. But it was what was going on in front of the camera with all the movement of, looks like orbs to me. I think we all agreed on that. So anyway, let me get this put, and let's see if I can get us all. Okay, here we go. All right, guys. So y'all all get to watch this. Now, like I said, where you see the green stripe, where you see over here on the left side of your screen is where you're going to see the coyote come in and then kind of back out like something's freaking it out a little bit. So here we go. You see the coyotes start to come in, and then it's like, nope, I'm not going there. So, and it's funny because the smoke and everything, the way it moves, it's like right in front of the camera, and then you see it kind of move across frame and then dissipate. So that's what we were all looking at. And so I thought maybe we could each pull a card. Well, I know most of us pulled it for ourselves just to see, but now that everybody's here,
Yeah.
I figured maybe we could pull a card and see if we can kind of ascertain what that was swirling around.
I'm just trying to determine which deck
Okay.
I need to pull, but yeah,
Let's see, what are they saying in the chat? Hi, Michelle.
You want to see it one
Hi,
more
Will
time.
Painter.
They need to see it one more time, Sherry, just to watch
Okay,
it.
they want to see it again?
Maybe
You got it.
maybe if we took off the bar, the comment bar, so
Yeah.
they can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, let me remove that.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to see it.
And all right, let's go back over here.
There it
Okay,
is.
guys, I'm gonna play it. Let me see.
Here.
There we go. I'm gonna take us all out,
Okay.
and y'all just can watch this again.
Yeah.
So you see how it's very concentrated smoke.
And then it goes off into orbs.
Yeah.
And there's one really intense yellowy orb.
Yeah, I don't know if that's an orb or a bug, but
Isn't
it
that a
was.
bug?
No,
I mean,
not the way it moved. That moved like an orb. And it was a circle.
yeah.
but anyway, it's just, to me, it's how there's all of this mist.
Yeah, there's a lot of
And
mist.
it's like you see the coyotes starting to come into frame, and then it's like backing up, like, no, I'm not going there. So I'll play it one more time. If everybody has their card drawn, and we can see what Spirit has to say about it. I know everybody's saying orbs. It looks really spooky. Michelle says the plants moved before the smoke came. So, okay. We're going to go back to us now. So, Marina, did you have a card?
I did. And I actually pulled from the Spirit Animal Wisdom deck just to see what it might offer. And basically, the card that I got was deer. And what it said underneath that is trust. Approach the situation with a light heart. There you go. You can see that.
Okay, cool.
So now, okay, here's the deal. I think that this is almost a little bit of a caution, because coyotes in the wild will attack deer. So when they're talking, when it said trust, I thought, okay, trust that the deer is going to be okay, or trust that the coyote isn't isn't going to attack. So I think that if there's a message in all this for you, Sally, I think the message is to just trust whatever you're dealing with. Just trust. And thank you, Warrior Girl. Okay, that's it. That's what I got.
Okay, Val,
Okay, so
your turn.
along with last time when we read about this kind of thing, and your guides all said, "You got this." That goes along with the trust. This is about consciousness, your higher consciousness, and all this fruit that it's bearing, and all your ancestors are coming to give you a message of support. All these beautiful reds and blues, these are all, it's like you're bearing fruit. And this is just to show you we're all here. We all support you. Absolutely trust yourself. And you have all these gifts and abilities. Look at what we're here doing this for you. And that's kind of the message. And I'm getting the full body chills again. So that's it.
Is that everything?
That's it.
All right, Miss Al, your turn.
Well, I got the most interesting card. We saw behind the veil. That's what's happening. And that's exactly goes along with what Val said about our ancestors and everything. The veil is thinning. The veil is thinning, and we are able.
Body chills.
Yeah. I loved it. Yeah. It says our realms of perception are opening up. And maybe that's why the coyote didn't come out. They saw, they saw all the orbs as well. So, yeah.
Oh, I think you just nailed it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right, Miss Allison, you're up.
So I watched it, and paid attention to it. And before that, I did grab one of my animal books. But I used my Stephen Farmer deck, and I pulled Coyote, which is really cool. So actually, I pulled 4 cards, but we're only doing the 1 card. And then I remembered, oh, that's right. I don't know why. I just and then I'm like, oh, we're doing 1 card. This was the overall energy card. So this is the one that matters anyhow, or is the most important. And the message for this is the wise fool. This is about accepting your follies and finding the teaching in them. So it's a little bit different message than what everybody else is saying. And then I did open up one of my books, the one I like the best. And, when a coyote shows up or whatever animal you're reading about, there's like numerous different things. And I just kind of did with my finger, and then the one that I came to. And it's quite similar to the message of this. And it was just rather than fighting or running from this situation, it will work out better if you adjust to it. And the funny thing is, the coyote was running from what it saw. It didn't run, but it turned and was like, I'm not going to do that. So that's what I got.
Very good. All right, Miss Sharon.
Okay.
You're up.
I got a flash that it was fairies. And this once happened to me about 30 years ago. I had been to a friend of mine who did an energy reading. And anyway, she checked my chakras. I don't know if I told you this story before. But anyway, she used a pendulum. And at the end of it, checking my chakras, she said, Sharon, you should be dead. There's nothing going on. What's going on? And I thought about it, and I went, oh, I know what it is. I once was told, actually in a demonstration, that I had a suit of armor. There was this knight that protected me. And they were talking to the knight, and they asked, how often are you out here? What is your job? Oh, protecting Sharon from things like shame. And well, how much are you out here? And he says, oh my God, I'm so tired. It's like about 90% of the time. So what this woman did for me is she removed the armor. And I felt really, really exposed. That night, as my husband and I were falling asleep. Now we're in an upstairs bedroom and we're on this 33 acres of forest. There's no light. There's no artificial light anywhere. And the roof was like this, and our bed was here, and there's two skylights here. On the what do you call it? The gyprock between the wall between the two skylights, there were these kidney-shaped multicolored. The color was multicolors are swirling within the kidney-shaped things, and I'd seen them in the work this woman was doing. And anyways, they were all there, moving around. And I said to my husband, "Do you see that?" And he said, "Yes, I do." I said, "Is there a light?" And we looked out, and no, there's no external light. There's no internal light. Like it was really something. I asked. It's funny this comes up because I think it was last week or within the last 10 days. I asked Dr. Gail what those were, and she said it was a group of fairies moving through. That they were transient fairies, but they were moving through and giving you a message. So anyways, when I tuned in this situation, fairies came up. And then I used my pendulum and I said, were they fairies? You know, all this display was that fairies? Said yes. And then I got the idea to ask, were there wood nymphs? Yes. So that's what I got. And then I did some cards here. I just did two. I was compelled to pull two. It says the 9 of Earth, which is 9 of Pentacles. When look, there's a picture of a fairy.
Yeah.
And it says, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. But anyways, and I agree about the veil. I mean, all these colors here, light colors, and here, I feel that's part of the veil. And the next one, the 9 of Fire, which would be the 9 of Wands, is don't give up. And this is a message for what was her name? Was it
Sally.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So she said, don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know if that makes sense to anyone else, but that's what I picked up.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, I pulled Galactic Mushroom, which just says the Divine Matrix.
Wow.
So I think in a lot of respects, we all got a little glimpse into what's beyond the veil, you know? So, and it's well known and well documented that animals are far more in tune with what's going on with the spirit world
Yeah.
than
they
we
are
are.
the angelic
you know?
realm.
Mhm.
And so, you know, when you see an animal kind of act out of character, that's what I noticed was the coyote kind of acting a little bit out of character. Usually they'll be the first ones to, you know, to go see if there's dinner sitting over there
They are skittish though.
around the, you know, so until something scares them, in which case then they're gonna back off. So
It could also be, I mean, from another point of view, it could be a sense of respect that when the coyote saw the fairies or whatever they were, just backed off like, go ahead, it's okay, you know. So
yeah.
Like
And you definitely get a feeling like it was moving because it was
Yes.
real concentrated and then it just kind of moved away.
Yeah.
yes,
It didn't just dissipate like regular smoke. It
No.
kind
Yeah.
of stayed concentrated as it moved away.
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay, well, thank you, ladies. Next up is Jules Niner. Jules had a question. How do each of you deal with negative emotions? Asking because of normal day-to-day stuff, people can get to me. Yeah. I have things I do, but it would be nice to hear what you ladies do. So I think that kind of ties very, very well in with the question that I had asked, what's our
Yep.
go-to for ourselves? But when you're dealing with negative emotions, how do you do that? So did I lose somebody? No. Okay. Um, I thought I misplaced a person. I was like, wait a minute, is something's not right. Okay, I see. Sherry being silly. All right, Miss Marina, you are first up.
Well, as before,
Mhm.
yeah, it kind of depends on the situation. I have learned, and this, it took a good long time, and I used to have little notes up everywhere, um, that talked about, thoughts become things, choose the good ones. That was then, this is now, you are safe. So that I could visually see anytime that I myself would start to feel a negative emotion coming in, I could look at those and say, okay, no, that doesn't apply. That was then, this is now. When it comes to dealing with negative emotions that come at me from other people, um, generally I get a feeling kind of in my solar plexus, right? And it's like a little churning. And so I ask myself, is this mine or is it somebody else's? If it's somebody else's, then it's, I send you away with light and love. You cannot stay here. And that seems to work. So um, yeah, it's just being mindful of the thoughts and things that go on in your own head. And yeah, negative emotions from other people. No, mind you, there have been times when I have been known to be anything but heart centered when negative things have come up or someone has triggered me. But yeah, usually I can calm down and say, no, no, no. You take that negativity with you somewhere else.
Very good. All
Yeah.
right, Miss Val, it's your turn.
Well, I found over the years that, when an emotion comes up, it's obviously ego based. And I always have a talk with myself before I start out the day, and I surrender my ego to my soul
Mm.
self. And when that situation comes up where I feel, if it were back when I worked in an office, I felt slighted or whatever that feeling may be that starts to come up, and you start to observe it rather than right when you're feeling it. Right when you're feeling it, say, oh, look at this. You automatically become the observer of the emotion as it's presenting. And then you know what I do? I send a huge amount of light, not only to myself, but that other person that those emotions came up about. Because you really transformed that energy immediately, gotten out of your ego just with that one visualization, boom, like that. And if you're consciously working that way, every time you transform that emotion into, white light that you're surrounding, it's like sending love to everyone, yourself
Yeah.
included. It makes a tremendous statement to your egoic self and to that you mean business. This is going to be the way it goes, and it'll become less and less. Not to say that it goes away completely, but less and less things will trigger you. Yeah, that's what I do.
Thank you, Val. Okay, Allie, it's your turn.
I kind of start that way. Puffy cheeks. puffy cheeks up here. Those aren't pillows. Anyway, how do you deal with negative emotions? What bothered me the most was that it comes from my work, and if a student is upset with me or upset with something that they perceive to be unfair or whatever, and I used to really write them and try to explain everything and get through it if I was upset with them. And now I just kind of say, okay, we'll see what we can do here, because you can't please everyone. So, it's really difficult. Again, I think venting is really important for me anyway. When the SCOTUS thing came out, I thought, the one about you don't have to do a website for a gay person. I thought, well, then I don't have to deal with MAGA people, and I don't have to. I had a whole list of things that I'm not going to deal with anymore because, the Supreme Court said that was fine. But it didn't do me any good to get upset about it. But at the same time, it made me feel better, because what I was seeing was that the whole thing is about judgment. And I don't like to judge, but I just did by saying all those things. And so I think that I just had to go full circle with it. And I'm a Libra, so I'm in my head too much. So have to get out of my head. Thank you.
Thank you, Allie. Okay. Miss Allison, you're up. Your turn.
It kind of depends on the situation. If it's a person, often, and I try to do this anyways, I ask myself, what is it about this that's triggering me? What is it in me that because it is about you a lot of the time, right? If something's bothering you, especially if it's somebody that, like, they're just around you, like if it's out somewhere or whatever, and you're just annoyed by them or what they're doing or how they're acting or whatever, you can just walk away. So what's going on with me that's bothering me? And I've gotten a lot better about, I don't really let that kind of stuff bug me like it used to, but it used to bug me quite a bit. As far as day-to-day stuff, I want to say stuff doesn't bother me, because that certainly wouldn't be true, but stuff does not bother me the way that it used to. I've gotten so much better. As a fire sign, Aries, and like I said, I went through a lot over the last years. I kind of just try to breathe through stuff. I ignore stuff as much as I can. I walk away. I realize stuff is not mine, has nothing to do with me. Like a lot of the time, that's what it is. I had a situation just yesterday. I was someplace, I was at a family gathering, and there were people there that were connected to one of my family members. It was actually an opportunity for some family to meet some other people that might become family. I'll just leave it at that. And one of those people was really annoying. And this person had had a few beers, not belligerent or anything, because that would never happen at our family events anyways. We don't even drink, but there was somebody there that was just kind of, just a little too, and so that was kind of trying. And I just tried to just hold space and just be like, yeah, you're just, you're not my cup of tea, and that's okay. And everybody's different. This is all, what's playing in my head. So I did do that just yesterday. I had a situation. I'm kind of an introvert, so I honestly don't really deal with a lot of stuff like this. But those are the kinds of things that I do, and I can't really think of anything else right now. I'm sorry, but and something that I used to do a lot though is put a mirror around myself and throw back anything I didn't like, or that was just whatever. But I know that a lot of people dealt with the whole last couple of years, Trump type people and that kind of stuff. And you see that when you're out, whatever, that does not affect me at all. And I know a lot of people have a hard time with that. I I ignore it. I just walk away from it. Don't pay any attention to it. But anyways, that's what I do.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, Miss Sharon, you're up.
Well, if I'm in a well, a lot of things that you women have already said. Sometimes it is something, that somebody else is doing, or there's a negative thing that they're doing that I'm really bothered by, and I realize, okay, why is that bothering me so much? For example, the person's always interrupting me, and you know what? I do that. I've really worked on that. It's a part of myself that I don't like, and really what it is my ADD. I just I have to be, I've learned to, especially since I've been retired. I feel I'm just going slower, like I've slowed down, and I don't need to be, I don't need to interrupt. So, I'm a blurter. I've really worked on that though. So it could be something that I really don't like in my shadow self. That's why it particularly bugs me. But there are the times when they're just being a jerk. First of all, if they're trying to engage me in argument, I just won't bite. And of course, I have all that training and experience with kids that are difficult. I just don't react. And so that's, you don't feed the fire. Because in fact, I remember taking some formal training, and they said, somebody's just blah at you going on. They said, if you don't say anything, as soon as you say something, it's like throwing gas on the fire. You're refueling it. But if you're just calm and don't say anything, they eventually literally run out of steam.
Yeah.
And calm down. So that's why I was so good with those kind of kids, because it just didn't ruffle me. I just was water off a duck's back. Also, if I'm in a situation where I'm really picking up negative energy, like the person really isn't doing anything, but there's something going on with them, because I'm an empath, and it's as a child, it was really difficult for me. So what I do is I surround myself. First of all, I am quiet, and I join with spirit, and I make sure I have white light around me. And now someone's asked me to add golden energy around that. So when I'm in that situation where that solar plexus is really picking up all this negative emotions, that's what I do, and then it dissipates.
Very good. Thank you, Sharon.
You're welcome.
All right. And let's see. I want to go ahead and take this down. With myself, I actually had something happen to me today. I posted a 30-second clip of the thunderstorm coming in, and I got a response. Somebody said, "What makes you think we want to see what your weather is?" And I was like, well, that was kind of rude. So I responded back. I said, well, why not? Some people like to see what other people's weather is. And you have this wonderful ability on your phone and your computer. You can delete the video or watch another one. You don't have to watch mine. You can go to another one and, and don't worry about it. Feel free. You're not going to hurt my feelings. So I never got a response back. So I figured it was just somebody trying to pick a fight. Yeah. But okay, we've got Sonia. We've got Sonia, and I know Sonia's here. Is that the same Sonia we've got here? Is Connie or
somebody get on Sherry's channel, please, and get rid of the Tarot Destroyer?
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Don't just boot them, kick them out completely.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not on me.
Well, that's whose is it then?
They're not on me.
They're not on mine.
Well, I think that they might have been on my channel, because I was able to. Yeah, when I
got rid of them. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Time
out. Okay, Sonia, is Sonia here? I know one of the Sonias was here earlier.
I think she is here. She was earlier.
Yeah. She's right here at 4:49, which I don't know.
Okay.
Time. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Well, Sonia's asking, do my guides have a message for me? So Because we're running tight on time,
Mhm.
let's everybody try to
Be brief.
be very brief. Yes, 1 to 2 sentences each. Thank you kindly.
Okay.
Okay, Marina.
Okay.
Okay, I thought I saw you there, Sonia. She's like, it's me, I'm here.
Okay. I got Mystic Sisters. So the message for you is pay attention to your psychic connections and sometimes the visions that might come to you, because they do connect you to someone who is going to help you along the path.
Very good. All right, Miss Val, you're up.
And I got the Snow Queen,
Mm.
which really
Ooh,
is about you coming into the light, coming into your wisdom. This enduring and persevering situation that you've gone through is going to be over, and you're coming into the light to your wisdom.
very good. Miss Allie, you're up.
Ask for help from others. Ask for help from
Oh,
above, or if you're needing some kind of help from, ask for it. They can't help you if you don't ask.
that's right.
Okay.
Miss Allison, it's your turn.
I got Serenity. This is about you getting some time by yourself, quiet contemplation, alone. So if you have children in the house or a spouse or whatever it is, you need to get away, get some time for you, go out in nature, whatever it requires, but you need some quiet time to really think. You've got too many distractions. Maybe you're on YouTube a lot, whatever it is, you need to get into some quiet space and so that you can hear what you need to hear.
All right. Miss Sharon.
Okay, I've got opportunity beckons, and see, this guy is being very quiet, and he's asking the universe and spirit. Obviously, he's making requests, so you need to connect to the universe, to your guides about this request you have, and see this globe here. There, see the infinity sign. In other words, anything is possible.
Very good.
That's the sign card I
Thank
have.
you, ma'am. All right, and I pulled an angel number card for you, Sonia. Number 22 says, I am aligned. It says, you are in possession of incredible creative powers, and it is assured that you can achieve anything you wish. That goes right in line with everything everyone else has said as well. So, thank you for your question. And did we ever have Connie or Rose show up? I never saw them in chat.
Oh, Rose, maybe. I think I might have seen Rose.
I think it was a different Rose, though.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is Rose Hogan or Connie B. With the
didn't see
other
Connie.
two,
Yeah.
Well, Rose lives over in Ireland, so she may have something had something come up.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay, and I am not.
No, I don't see Connie.
I'm not seeing Connie either.
And those were questions from last week.
Yeah, and they weren't here last week,
Okay.
and they weren't here this week. So,
Yeah.
Well, I guess we will wrap it up. It is like 30 seconds to spare, so I kind of hate leaving a question or two, but if they're not here, it's kind of hard to read for them.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for coming and for sharing your time with us this evening. Thank you, lovely ladies, for all of your input and all of your wisdom in deciding how do we deal with life when it goes down the crapper. So it's the best way to put it nicely. I originally, I think, worded it differently, but thought I would kind of edit myself a little bit.
So whose channel is hosting next week? I know you sent the schedule, but I
Next
can.
week is
Me.
Oh, it's Marina. Okay.
it's Marina. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next week is Marina and then Allison. So
Yeah.
we got them in that order. Well, thank y'all very much. Everybody have a wonderful
welcome.
evening.
Bye.
Bye for now.